Hey guys, it's Heather, the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing? So I believe this is the first movie and stitch that has spilled over into the new year. So obviously, I did not make my New Year's goal or my last goal of the last year of finishing it up. I'm about halfway through, but we're going to push on. And that means I don't have to put out 3 of them a week to try to catch up and finish up. Because I do have other blanket projects, as you have probably well seen by now. But nevertheless, I'm still going to move on because, sorry, I got distracted because I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, which I also filmed today, and on the Facebook group, that my electric had went out today, which again is why I seem to be living in this shirt, because it is my warmest shirt and I'm still freezing. It's been 5 hours at this point since our electric came back on, and I'm still freezing from the electric being out. It's still snowing. We're getting quite the winter storm. Somebody said their side of Michigan is getting 10 inches, I think. And I think our side is too, which makes me wonder, are we on the same side of Michigan? I don't remember. I'm in the Southwest. Just saying. I don't remember. Or maybe it's just all across Michigan that we're all getting this winter weather. I'm not sure, but of the same caliber, I mean. But anyway, and I've also kept this door. I closed it slightly to see if it makes a difference right now. But I feel like with it being open more, since I have, I don't mean to sound like I have a great mic, but compared to last year, once I upgraded, I have a good mic now. So I feel like it picks up more just having the door open. There was more of a noise or whatever. So I'm attempting to keep the door half closed, but now I feel like I'm hearing little noises, maybe Abby's kind of snooping because it's a half open door. So I got distracted. But anyway, yeah, and it's freezing. So hopefully I can shut up now or hurry through it, I should say, and get this done. But if you've joined my movie and stitch list before, or joined any of the original ones, which will be linked below, even though I believe all of those lovely ladies have completed theirs. I believe they have. I'm still going to link their channels down below. Those will always be linked below because A, you should check them out because they're awesome people anyway, and B, you could still go back and find their playlists of their movie and stitch if you're interested to see what projects they made. But that I did get this idea from Terry from Yarn Joy Podcast, and started with them and then got sidetracked. The project that I'm making is not a square per movie per se, of different things to represent the movie. I decided to do a project while watching my movies because my movies are all horror movies and my blanket is a Halloween themed blanket. So for the most part, my actual squares are somewhat similar. There's 3 different variations. So I mean, a lot of what I show you, it's mostly just a progress thing since they're similar, quite similar. But I am still reviewing the movies and all that stuff for those of you who also like horror movies, or maybe who are interested in whichever ones I'm talking about. And that being said, my long-awaited Elle movie, I have been dying since I decided this was my Elle movie to do, The Lost Boys, which eventually I'm going to be doing a blanket for my other project with Sandy from Crochet A, because this is on my list at some point, I'm just saying. So I did Elle, Lost Boys, and also known as the movie that I think absorbed the better half of 2 years of Heather's teenage years. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, I love this movie so much. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, because I mean, I'm sure there are people that don't, but I feel like me being goth, I am drawn towards a lot of like the darker, like the vampire-y movies. I feel like a lot of goths like the, you know, vampires and such. And I'm no exception, is what I was getting at. I love vampires. I really love the Lost Boys. Like, they're, out of all the vampires, like, some people are drawn towards certain ones. Some people really love, like, Anne Rice's vampires. Some people really love the Underworld vampires, which I don't mean to sound so surprised, because it's not like the Underworld is a bad set of movies or anything. I like Underworld. Is Underworld my You movie? I can't remember. Anyway, but I love The Lost Boys. Like, I love everything about this movie. A quick rundown, because this is quite an old movie, and I'm sure anybody interested in it probably has already seen it, or at the very least heard of it and know, like, the concept. But basically, the rundown is this family moves to a place called Santa Carla, and they're moving in with the grandpa of the family, which is Lucy's dad. Lucy's the mother of the two boys, Sam and Michael. And when they get there, the boys find out that Santa Carla is the murder capital of the world, as it's been dubbed by the locals. So they ask Grandpa about it, and Grandpa's kind of kooky, and he's kind of like the kooky character that, like, he says some off-the-wall stuff, and you don't know if you should take what he says with a grain of salt or to heart. Like, he doesn't come off as like a liar, but like he's extra, you know what I mean? Like, he's kooky. And like, when you meet him in the movie, they drive up and he's just laid out on his front porch, and they run up to him like, oh my God, like, did he have a heart attack or a stroke, or, you know, like, they're thinking he is dead. He's unresponsive and everything else. And I think it was Sam that says, you know, like, if he's dead, can we go back to where we came from? And she says, he's not dead. He's just a deep sleeper, you know. She's defending him, but she's freaking out because she thinks he might be dead. And Grandpa, like, just with his eyes closed, he's like, playing dead, and I'm doing a good job of it from the sound of it. Like, he was just laying there when they rolled up. So, like, he just does this. Grandpa's kooky. So, but so they adjust to life in Santa Carla. Like, Mom goes out and finds a job at a video store. Sam's the youngest. Him and Michael go out on the boardwalk, because that's like the place to be at night. It's like the nightlife for the younger kids. And like, he goes and finds a couple of friends. Their names are Edgar and Alan Frog. They run like this comic book shop, and they're like these really odd duck kids that are, you think they're kind of like crazy at first too. I mean, they are pretty kooky too. Like, all the characters in this movie are kind of kooky, I guess, but like, they come off very like, they basically meet him and are like, you better watch out for vampires, and you know what I mean? So, you know the type. Like, Sam's kind of like, okay. Sure. And Michael immediately meets a girl that he follows around the boardwalk because he likes the way she looks, and she leads him to this group of boys who are obviously bad news and who come to be known as the Lost Boys, who are the group of vampires who the movie is named after. And basically, like, they trick Michael into going to hang out with them and into drinking some wine that has the leader's blood in it, and that's how he starts to shift into a vampire. And his little brother finds out, and Sam is trying, with the help of the crazy friends who turn out to actually be monster hunters, they're trying to like figure out who the lead vampire is in the town so that they can kill it and return Michael back to normal, and so he doesn't have to turn into a vampire. And most of the movie is about like their hunt for the vampire and like what's happening to Michael, and we got to keep this a secret from Mom, and you know, your normal teenage worries. If you're turning into a vampire, you got to keep that secret from Mom. So they do, good news, they do eventually find the vampire, and yeah, spoilers, because I mean, you got to expect spoilers if this is like a movie review, right? So like they do find him, they do off him, and they do save the day. It destroyed Heather's little world every time she watched the movie back then, that they had to kill the actual Lost Boys in the process, because my like teenage crush was I don't know if he'll be able to be seen that well, but right here, that's Billy Worth, the only dark-haired Lost Boy, but he was a male model when they found him, actually. And he had decided to try acting, and they took him on for the role, and he played in a lot of other stuff. He's Native American, so he's played a lot of Native American roles. Like he played in a movie called War Party in like the late 80s or early 90s, where he was a Native American, like a warrior or brave or whatever, I think. And he played in a TV movie that I was like obsessed with when I was a teenager that was called like Children of the Dust. And he played an Indian named Kobe. I think that was his name. And yeah, anyway, this is not Heather's obsessed with Billy Worth time. This is Lost Boy review time. Sorry. But yeah, anyway, it's just a cute, campy movie. Well, cute. It's a horror movie, but it's not that scary. I mean, unless you're just scared by the idea of vampires, like nothing terribly bad happens, nothing terribly traumatizing happens. It is considered a cult classic movie, I believe, like Rocky Horror is. Like maybe not on the same level. I would consider it on the same level, and I love Rocky Horror, but it's definitely mentioned amongst the cult classics. And yeah, so there is The Lost Boys for you. So that was my L movie. And of course, I have some trivia for you. I'm trying to hurry this up because I'm freezing. Trivia for the movie is the town of Santa Carla actually doesn't exist. Probably not a surprise. A lot of movies have fictorial towns. But landmarks that they show along the way suggest that it is right next to Santa Cruz, California. And that includes including the Santa Cruz beach boardwalk. That's the boardwalk that they are frequenting all the time at night. And amongst that is the Giant Dipper roller coaster, which actually opened there in 1924 and is still in operation today, or at least at the time of the website that I got that fact from. Two, the vampires, oh, I knew this one before I wrote it down too. The vampires were originally supposed to be much younger, and that's actually why they got the name The Lost Boys, because it was supposed to be like a spoof, not spoof, but like a nod towards Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, for the fact that they were younger boys that never grew up and never aged. And that there's a line in the movie actually where the lead, he's not the head vampire, but the leader of them, David, who was played by Kiefer Sutherland, he says, you'll never grow old, Michael, and you'll never die, or whatever. Like, it's a nod to the Lost Boys. But the director, they brought a director on board midway. The producer brought another director on board, and he decided that it was too Goonies Go Vampires, is what he said. So he aged all of them up, and he made them model looking, and I think that's why they actually picked Billy Worth, because he was a model at the time. And then fact 3 is the movie The Lost Boys actually inspired the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is Joss Whedon, and Joss said that he loved the thought of how in The Lost Boys they just had like their regular faces, because of course, like, if they were aging them up to look modelly and good looking for like the teenage girls that like the heartthrobs at the time, you know, they had to look very Vogue and stuff. If they were aging them up to look like that, though, they also dropped their vampire features until they wanted to vamp out, which is, I think that's actually a Buffy term, is vamp out. But Joss liked the thought of that they could go around looking like normal people, and then when they wanted to vamp out, they did. So yeah, the movie inspired that in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And also, I didn't write this down, but just so you know, like in case you really like the movie and didn't know, there is a book that is about the movie. Often movies are based on books, I'm aware, but I guess it was more of a thing in the 80s compared to now, really. But I guess when movies were pretty big, they wrote books after the movie was big. And that's what happened. Like, The Lost Boys wasn't a book that got turned into a movie. It was a movie that got turned into a book. But out there is a book called The Lost Boys. I actually got the ebook version because the actual version is super pricey now anywhere that I could find. Like, it'd be cool to have an actual copy of it, but I mean, it was like $80 or something for the hard copy. So I got the ebook version recently, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But the reviews did say that since it was the book written after the movie, that it's basically like mostly what you'd already have out of the movie, but there's a few extra like facts and a few extra like what would have been maybe deleted scenes kind of type things. But like, since I was so obsessed with the movie, I wanted to get it, and the price was really good. I mean, I got it for like $5, so win-win. And it was an ebook, so no clutter. But so those were my facts for that. I hope you liked the review and maybe it inspired you to want to see the movie or revisit it if you liked the movie. As far as the project that I was working on, I am using Karen Jumbo in the color Plum Copper. And this is all I have left, having made what I've made so far out of the second skein of this. Like, I have this little teeny wrap and then this, and I have at least one more. I think I have a couple more, but I know I have at least one more, obviously. I did, when these were like clearancing out at Joann's, I scooped up all the ones I could because they're so Halloween-y looking. Like, I love everything about them. And I knew I had to make at least one blanket. I had decided I was going to make all the blankets that I could out of any of that I got. Like, if they still had this at Joann's, I'd probably get more of it when I go to buy more yarn. But I think the whole color got clearanced out. I should look. Like, when I do go to buy more yarn, I should look. Well, anyway, so there's that I used, and I have to bust into a new one for next time. And I already had one of the actual squares made, but I made the 2 squares to go with it, and then I lined all of them. I'll show you the colors that I lined them with in a moment. But I'm just making solid granny squares, and every single one that I've made, I'll show you the other ones, but every single one that I made is doing this weird pooling thing where 2 of the sides are like the weird stripes and 2 of the sides are the weird speckles. Every single one. So in the blanket, I have tried to at least like line them up so like all of these are like in a row, like facing the same way, but I think I failed when I was tired the last time I was doing it. But I mean, whatever, right? I don't know exactly why it does that, but yeah, they're just solid granny squares from my pattern, the way that I make it, because I start with a magic circle, and then yeah, I have a little bit of a different way, I guess, of doing the corners, but I'll link my tutorial for it down below if you're interested in the way I do my granny squares. So I got those 3 done for the blanket, and the colors that I'm lining it with are living in my Bon Jovi bag. They are as follows. 2 of them are this Big Twist Classic. I just made, like, I found the best, like, Halloween colors that I could. This one reminds me of, like, a neon, like a dark neon purple that's like a witchy purple, kind of. It is the Big Twist Classic, and it is in the actual color name Violet. It's like electric dark purple. It's so pretty. And then the other Big Twist Classic that I'm using, see if I can get them out to show you, is in the color Orange. It's just this pumpkin-y looking orange, like I showed you on the blanket, or on the squares there just a minute ago. And then the other one is technically a Big Twist Rainbow Classic. You can see the clearance sticker on it. These were discontinued. It is in the color lime, but it's like this, like Slimer green. Like, I love this green. Like, for a ghosty, I love it so much. But I only had one of it, and that's why I decided to, oh, it got fuzzy. That's why I decided to branch out into the other colors. But like I said, this one on clearance because they were getting rid of, I think, they either got rid of the Big Twist Rainbow Classic or they at least got rid of some of the colors. I don't know if they still have Rainbow Classic or not, to be fully honest. However, what I will say is, so this is a bulky 5. And these are what replaced these on the shelf, I know for sure. And these are also bulky 5. And the only real difference is this is just a little fuzzier. Just a little. So like, they're basically the same yarn otherwise. So I have just been using them together. And they're just fine together. So not really a big deal at all. The bag that I'm using is just a little bit small for all of them. I can fit like 2 of these and then I have to shove the other one on top. And I'm only using like a little bit of them at a time. So I'm kind of hoping I have enough that when I finish the blanket, I'll have enough of these to like go around the border in each of them. Because like the other 2, the orange and the purple, I could buy another one of, but I can't buy the green. So hopefully I have enough. Because I don't want to go buy another skein of them anyway. I want to just use what I have, you know. And then I am joining it in just Red Heart with Love that I had bought like so much of this this was years ago, but the last time Walmart had a Black Friday sale on yarn, which was quite a while ago. Like it's like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, I think. I had bought so much of the solid colored with Love. So I had a bunch of the black, which I think is just called black. It is. And I am doing, gonna get sick of hearing me say this with my blankets, but I'm doing a continuous join. And it's going to be about, I think I decided, it is going to be about 2, 3, 4, about 6 blocks long. Well, it is going to be 6 blocks long. I think at the time I was going to do like 6 blocks wide and then do it like super long, but I'm trying to make these and get them done, so it's not going to be that big. I mean, it's still going to be plenty big, but I'm probably only going to do like another row after this and then start on the border. But yeah, that's the pattern that it's making. And I really super love it. And it's like so soft. Like, I did not realize before I started working with it this time around just how soft the Caron Jumbo is. Like, I love it. The Caron 1-pounders, they're kind of soft, but the Caron, unless it's just this color for some reason, these are so much softer. Like, so much softer. These are almost like silky feeling. Like, I really love this yarn so much. So, and then like I said, it's the continuous join. I really love the continuous join because it's just flat on both sides of it. I love it so much. I will also link that down below because I feel like we should all know how to do the continuous join. And I think I have shown you this before, but another Red Heart with Love, but metallic. I don't know if you'll be able to see the metallic sparkles or not. I think maybe you can, but it's the sparkly iridescent sparkles in this. I have found little ghost appliques, and I use different size hooks to make different ghosties out of this sparkly shimmery yarn. And I'll probably make a couple more at some point. And I gotta add eyes to these guys, I know, still. But I'm going to put those, embroider those on the blanket, and I'm still thinking I might do like some tombstones for the bottom of it in some gray. And figure out what kind of border I want to do at some point here, and then that is it for the project. So that's it. This lasted way longer than I thought because I droned on about the Lost Boys, didn't I? Sorry about that. My M movie, to reveal that and let you guys get on your way today, is Ma, which is from the same producer as Get Out, I believe. It says Get Out and Halloween, but I'm not sure which Halloweens. So I have watched this before, and I like it. It's got a pretty good creep factor, but like I watched this with Damon, and he was so scared that we had to watch a different movie afterwards, like a comedy or something, before he would go to bed. I shouldn't laugh at him. Some people just really don't like horror movies. Like, I definitely didn't find it that scary at all, but I really shouldn't laugh because I'm that weird person that likes to be scared too. So, I would not laugh at you if you were like that, but I will laugh at him because it's Damon. I don't do it out of meanness. You guys know I love him. So, yeah, that is my M movie for next time. And I am going to end it there. So I will definitely be back with more videos because like this was the third one I filmed today, and I was going to do a fourth one, but the electric going out really set me back. So I will probably film a fourth one on my next day off. So hopefully, I hope you guys are enjoying the fact that I have been able to get like more close to a video day out lately, because I like hanging out with you guys and reading all your comments and all that good stuff and showing you the stuff that I make. So I'm not going to say it. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Bye.